This is Dr. Scott Shepard. I'm speaking today about the power of hope. I'm going to be starting a new podcast talking to people about what hope means to them and how they've dealt with their lives when they felt hopeless or when situations felt hopeless. I have my own thoughts on it, which I'll share in just a second, but I think in today's world especially, with all the craziness going on, when you start wondering, can I really make any difference in the world? Can I do anything? It's easy to start thinking, why get involved at all? Or sometimes we have our own stuff. We're sick, we're dealing with an illness, or somebody we love is dealing with some tough times or whatever, and we start to give up. We just start to feel we can't do anything about it, so there is no hope. So that's what this is going to be about. What I'd like to start off with today is just to give you a little overview of what I think hope is. This is from my app on my website, which is my website is rekindleyourheart.com. And I have a couple of apps, and one of them is called Hope Rising. And if you've ever seen the Shawshank Redemption, you probably remember this line where he says, hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. Now, if there's one bad habit that we have with our language, and we got gobs of them, it's that we tend to trivialize words or phrases so that they lose the original power that they had. For example, love is a great example. It's gone from the thoughts or meaning something like God is love, or love is the most powerful force in life or in the world. And now you hear, well, this is from a long time ago, but you hear this kind of sentiment: hello, I love you, won't you tell me your name? I think you're hot, I love you. Love has just sort of degenerated into who knows what. I do a lot of talks on stress, and I'm always talking about how stress has gone from a word that sort of described a physiological reaction in the body to this sort of ubiquitous phenomenon that's everywhere. And it means just about anything, like you stress me out, or I'm under a lot of stress, or this is a stressful job, and blah, blah. But especially for me, the word that has really degenerated is the word hope. Hope is turned, in my opinion, into a poor substitute for just wishing. I hope I win the lotto. I hope I get the girl or the guy. I hope my team wins the game. That's real typical how we sort of see the word. And more than just the definition of the word, the way we use it sort of represents how our thinking has degenerated into wanting outside events to determine our happiness. When we use hope that way, like I hope I win, or my team wins the game, we just want an outcome to be different. We're not doing anything. When people talk about, hope dying or losing hope, or even if you think of, whether you're religious or not, I don't care. But, faith, hope, and charity. It's up there with the big boys, right? Faith, hope, and charity. Those are big. And yet, is that all hope is? Is I just sort of wish, I hope it's got to be more than that. It's got to be something else more than just wishing for an outcome. I think the real meaning of hope is really complicated in some ways. I even kid about it, that when I try to explain it, and I wrote this on my app, I sort of fumble around myself, even though I keep thinking about it and I'm trying to present it in some kind of coherent fashion. But I think it's hard to define because it's deep and it's complex. And at its most profound, it reflects a belief in ourselves, in life, and in our relationship to life. People who rise above seeing hope at the basic level of wishing for a favorable outcome, they move to a sense that whatever is being experienced now does not have to stay that way. Obviously, most people in bad situations want the situations to change, to get better, to end. But the hope I'm talking about reflects a sense that the outcome of the situation is not the decider of their spirit. Their engagement with life and the events they are facing, as well as their belief in themselves, and for many, but not for all by a long shot, but for many, their belief in some type of a higher power. That all becomes part of the mix of hope. And for people who don't necessarily believe in a higher power, maybe there's something believing in themselves, even on a deeper level. There's a belief for these people who think this way, who look at hope at the highest level, that they have the key for abiding whatever they face because of what is inside of them. Viktor Frankl talked about it. Viktor Frankl wrote Man's Search for Meaning. He was a prisoner in a concentration camp in World War II. James Stockdale, who was a vice presidential candidate with Ross Perot, but he was also the highest-ranking, longest-held prisoner in Vietnam. He talked about it from his experiences being in that prison camp. Abraham Lincoln alluded to it during his experiences in the Civil War. I think hope reflects belief, but not the belief that faith reflects, but a different type. Hope believes in the better, in the higher, in the possibilities. Hope rejects cynicism. People who have this kind of belief in this way of looking at hope believe that though events might not work out, they will not be defeated. It's sort of like, you might kill me, but you will not defeat me. Frankl and Stockdale both thought that not only would they survive their terrible situations, they would grow from them. They were growing while they were in those terrible situations. So that's what this is going to be about. I'm going to start talking to people. I'm going to get opinions from people, what they think, how they look at hope, what they think about it. And we'll get their stories and how it's helped them, how they overcame hopelessness. If you are interested in sharing your story, go to my website and my email, scott@rekindleyourheart.com. Let me know about it. Drop me a note and we'll work out something and we'll get you on the air here and we'll start sharing these stories. Thanks.